Hey guys, HMK once again, and I'm super excited for the final day of Switchmas. It's here, it's gonna happen tomorrow, it's going down, live stream, all that good jazz. And I just wanted to make a video on my predictions of what's gonna go down in the Tokyo Switch event. And this video is gonna be very free form, so I might stutter a little bit, because I'm really hyped for this, but I got my bullet points and my notes of what I think is gonna go down when the Switch event finally happens. And for what we know, the Switch event is probably gonna be around an hour long, which is great. That's about the time of a conference at E3. I'm very excited. So it looks like they're gonna have a lot of ground, or a lot of time to cover a lot of ground for what they want to tell us about the Switch. And the most important things obviously is the launch date, the price, and the launch lineup of the games that's gonna be alongside the Switch. But they said they're gonna cover a lot of other things as well. So the surprises really just get at me, but let's get into it. One of my predictions are how the Switch event is going to go down. Alright, so I believe it's going to begin with a small showcase of the console, with a bit of a prologue, you know, that reel, that vignette that we always see when it's always like, oh, Nintendo Minute or Nintendo Direct, you know, when they show off a bunch of stuff, or they just have the close-up of the console looking all sexy and whatnot. And then after the prologue, it's going to go straight into Breath of the Wild. And the reason why I say this is because it has immense notoriety, and it's already a game that we know of for the longest, and it's coming out on the Wii and the Switch. So that'll be the best way to open up a Switch event without spoiling too much, you know, going down and dirty into the fans. Just try to ease in people into the Switch event by having a game that's already known for going to the Wii U, and it's going to be going to the Switch as well. So they're going to come out with Breath of the Wild, and it's going to have probably a trailer or a gameplay or a bit of a discussion, and then finally we'll have a release date of Breath of the Wild at the end of that little showcase. And then after that, they're going to segue into saying what makes the Switch special, because of course Breath of the Wild is coming out for the Wii U and the Switch, but now after they got Breath of the Wild out of the way, they want to showcase a little, you know, more about how they're, you know, moving away from the Wii U, moving away from the 3DS with the Nintendo Switch. So they're going to talk about why it's so special, how it can handle the games at home or on the go, how it really works, how big the cartridges can be, and how the cartridges will look, how much they'll cost maybe, and talk a little bit about the specs, battery life, how the menu works, how online works. And this will probably lead into talks about peripherals and showcasing certain games while they showcase the peripherals, you know, the Pro Controller, or when you go on the Go, or when you have it on the Joy-Con dock or whatnot. This discussion will probably lead into online discussions of how the online will work, if it's a paid service or it's going to be the same thing as Nintendo Network, because I'm pretty sure Nintendo Network is probably going to be here to stay. And they're going to talk about online focused gameplay, what an online focused game, probably Splatoon, the Splatoon version that we're going to see on Switch, and that will potentially go into esports, because I really want Nintendo to talk about their focus on esports, because the first event that they're going to after this big Switch event in Japan is going to be an esports convention, so they should really talk about that, drive that point home from what we saw in the trailer of people playing Splatoon at that big esports. Man, I really want that to catch on. I really want esports to catch on with the Nintendo Switch, and from what we've seen about the fight pads and the fight sticks that are potentially being made by Hori, I want this to be a thing. So maybe they'll talk a little bit about how they have games for esports ready, like Splatoon, fighting games, maybe even Marvel's Capcom 3, Marvel's Capcom Infinite, and upcoming fighters that are already being announced for other things like Tekken 7, or maybe even Street Fighter 5. I don't know, I'm not sure. So talk a little bit more about esports, because esports is not just fighting games. Esports is just like everything, and they have shooters, sports, fighting games, maybe in FIFA. I don't know, just talk about it a bit. Let us know that esports is trying to be a thing with Nintendo this time around, even Super Smash Brothers, but I'm gonna get into that later. After that, they're probably going to have a developer come out on stage and talk about their plans for the Switch. And they'll, you know, have invite other people from Platinum Games, people from Bethesda. I'm just throwing out names I've seen on the list: Konami, Capcom, whatever. They'll come out one by one and showcase a big game that they have for Switch ready at launch, or along the lines of this year. The biggest example I want to give is like maybe Ubisoft will come out and talk about the Rabbids Mario and Luigi crossover that's being debated on time and time again. So something like that, they'll have people after people, and during that segment they're probably gonna talk a little bit about Virtual Console, GameCube, and maybe even Mother 3, because we do know that the developer that helped out with Mother 3 is gonna be at attendance at the Switch event. So maybe they'll come out at one point, you know, talking about all these games, and during that they'll talk about when these games will launch, and if the games is gonna launch alongside Nintendo Switch. They're not gonna say the release date, because I feel they're gonna keep the release date and the price till the very end, in order to just, you know, that big explosion, like the Nintendo Switch will be launching blankety blankety blank at a price of blankety blankety blank. That will be the best way to close it out. So I feel that is going to be a very strong way to, like, you know, put it. It's like, oh, this game will be available at launch, but they're not going to say launch. If it's not going to be available at launch, they'll have the release date there. It's like, oh, this game will come out for Nintendo Switch on April blankety blank. And then, you know, maybe like Yooka-Laylee on stuff. And every now and again, we're probably going to get more and more vignettes about upcoming games. And then later on in the show, they're probably going to talk about how certain games from the Wii U is going to be ported over to the Switch, including Splatoon, Super Smash Brothers. A lot of people say Xenoblade Chronicles X. A lot of people say Super Mario Maker. I believe all that because, you know, I want these games to succeed, and these are amazing games. Oh, Mario Kart 8, of course. These are amazing games that never really had a chance to grow because of the Wii U not selling as much, so they might have a chance to start over fresh on the Nintendo Switch. So they're going to talk about that a little bit more. And like I said, when they're talking about esports, maybe Mario Kart 8 could be in the esports league that they're trying to make, or Super Smash Brothers. They'll talk a little bit about Super Smash Brothers. They'll have Masahiro Sakurai come out and talk about, oh yeah, we optimized this game. We made it look a little better. We made the online better. We added this mode. We added that mode. These characters are coming in. And of course, talk about the Bayonetta, Cloud, and Corrin amiibos that we still have not gotten. Also, just so you know, there's a rumor going around that we have two Breath of the Wild amiibos that haven't been revealed, so that'll be a great way to show it off during the Breath of the Wild segment, because I really, really, really want this game, this system, to have a Breath of the Wild segment. So we've gone through most of the things: battery life, online specs, how Nvidia is handling this, also charge time of when you have to go on the go and whatnot, and maybe even some not even third party, but just like, you know, how the car charger works, how it's gonna look like, and maybe even bundles. There you go, that's what I forgot to say. Bundles of the Nintendo Switch. And please give us a good amount of memory when it comes to how much games we could play on the Nintendo Switch or whatnot. Give us at least 500 gigabytes. I cannot deal with this, you know, 32, 64 gigabyte Wii U BS. Please, God, no. So talk about that. What I really want Nintendo to do, and I really foresee this happening, this is my big prediction, is that I want Nintendo to truly show that they want, like, they keep on saying they don't want to compete with PS4 and Xbox, but I want them to create an atmosphere that rivals how people would perceive Nintendo along the lines with PS4 and Xbox One. You know, I want them to show that this is a true competitor and show that they really, you know, gun for the people's approval. In the older people, since the Nintendo Switch trailer was geared towards older people from a different generation that Nintendo usually goes for. So I really want to push on that. So along with all of that, of course, we're going to have Super Mario Switcheroo. I call it Super Mario Switcheroo, but it's not really called Super Mario Switcheroo, but Super Mario Switch, and all these other games that will be available at launch and beyond launch. So everything that we saw at the trailer before this event, I want to be showcased on that and show why it's different and show why you should get it on the Switch, including Skyrim Special Edition, you know, because this game is already out. Why should I get it again? Give us a reason, you know what I mean? And I just cannot wait. And this is part of my prediction, but I cannot wait for all those rumors finally being put to rest and all that good jazz. So finally, at the end of the event, like I said before, the closing will be the launch date with the price and a final monologue and thank you. You know, how they always have. They're not gonna have Reggie. They're probably gonna have Kimishima on stage, and he's like, the Nintendo Switch aims to do this. We seek to pleasure our customers and pleasure our gamers to the fullest degree that no one else can. So please be excited. No, you will be excited for the Nintendo Switch launching this day for this price. Thank you. And then they'll go off the air, and then all of us will be hyped, and I'll be making videos up the ante. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. I cannot wait for the big Nintendo Switch event. You know, we're really going in blind, so my prediction list is like, you know, it's really out there and it's really all over the place. But I really feel that I hit most of the big bullet points. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you predict is going to go down at the Nintendo Switch event? And remember, I'm going to be live streaming the event, and I'm going to be at New York playing the games and covering all that shit for you. So please be sure to share the video, share the channel, like, subscribe, all that good jazz. Until next video, I've been HMK, and I'll check you guys later. Switch is going down, my friends. Let's do this.